Hey, Bearjangles here. Welcome to one of the long runs of track on the Pecos Southern. This is the new LakeValley map that came with the anniversary update. I have been working on adding track and figuring out where I'm going to put industries. Now there is no official track plan, just a bit of ridiculousness to get this where we need to go. Although, yeah, it is a little crazy. Let's see. So I ended up going out into the middle of the lake to set down the sawmill. Because, you know, why not have a sawmill in the middle of your lake? Have a crazy winding track that goes out there to it because it gains so much altitude just to get from there up to the top of the plateau. Because, of course, I had to put the logging camp all the way up to the upper right hand side of the map, of course. And at the moment, let's see, we can by the magic of teleporting, we can go up there. So this is where the log camp is. Up on the hill. And then we've got I had a sawmill that is kind of up here with it, but of course it's not too late or anything, so I didn't like it. And then I wanted the sawmill to be somewhere close to where the actual wood is going to be. So there's that. Don't have track all figured out. One of the things that I do need to do is I need to put either a line or a round table for my locomotive. So I think what I'd like to do is put a round table off of this. So where to put it? This is the normal spawn-in track area, and then I've added tracks in between. Maybe we should put it off of here. If I put it off of here, I don't think it'll have room to properly connect there, so that's not going to work. Alright, let's just put it down here. This end of the depot, I'm going to drain some track. Make it where over here, and we will go straight. Oops, wrong track. Make it go straight for about, let's make it 10 meters straight track. 10 meters straight track. Going to want a switch to the left. Yeah, this will work. Left. Let's make it a 60 degree, and we'll also make it 10 meters, and we'll throw down a turntable. No, that doesn't get us far enough out. That's not going to work. tell you what we can do. No, we'll just curve the track even more, 60 meters, and bring it over. There we go. Now we've got the turntable. This is only for turning around. It's not for going to around that sort of thing. This will allow me, because I have my tracks that are going the other direction, this will allow me to turn my locomotive around. So let's go get this thing steamed up. Grab some wood, throw it in, fire back to 71%. There we go. Alright. Oh, water temperatures. Gotta have time to come in. Well, in the meantime, we can buy something. Logging carts, right? Skeleton cars. I don't know the small ones. Let's go with flat cars. These are for logs and steel pipe. Let's go over them. Let's see. What, I'm gonna smack the mic. I bet that was loud over you guys. I'm trying a new system here set up with my mic turned or pushed down low like this. So all right, paint job. Let's just, I like the number 5. It's a nice just brown. I want this to say Pecos Southern. Oh, that's a number. All right, well, these are our first cars, so I'm going to start them at the 100. So this will be 101. Pecos Southern. And order. There we go. Number 101, Pecos Southern. Let's get a couple more. What was that? Paint job number 5. 102. Pecos Southern. Order. Let's go again. $103. Pecos Southern. And order. Order. Order, I say, order. Let's reroute this one over here. That's 3 together. Let's see if we can stack these a little closer together, rerailing them. We got 4 on here. There we go. Sometimes if you'll re-rail it to the other track and then bring it back, there we go, we got it closer. I want to turn that one around though. I'd like to have all the brakes go in the same direction. There we are. There. Ugh, no, it still did it wrong. Why? Why are you doing that to me? All right, over there. Thank you. Over here. That'll work, I guess. I still have room to put number 4 in front of it, so we're gonna go buy one. Let's get one more. Paint number 5. 104. Pecos Southern. And order. And that threw that one over there. So we'll grab it and we will re-rail it there. Alright. Give each one of these a Lincoln pin. We need a caboose. And yeah, I've already got money here. I am just having fun on this map. I'm not starting with the zero monies. I am starting with money that I brought in from extended, just because why not? Once I get industry set, I can use extended to reset things, and I could start from scratch if I wanted to. All right, cabooses. The caboose, and I'm going to start them at the 1000s, so this will be 1001. Pecos Southern. And order. Oh, check tier. Oh, I'm not a high enough tier to get a caboose. I brought in money, but I did not bring in XP. Look at that. Denied. Well, I don't have extended open right now, so we will have to get some XP going, I guess. We are going without a caboose. I suppose so. Alright. Should be all steamed up and ready to go. Water temperature is at 110 now. So let's throw her in reverse, take off the brake, give her a little bit of regulator. Warn everybody with the triple whistle. Speed limits. Let's take it and turn it around on the turntable so we can head out on that track. Alrighty. Hey, guess what? This does not have a headlight. Isn't that interesting? I hear, though, that they have fixed this with the latest update that they did, that it will actually, when you bring it in, if you start a new game and you bring this one or the Betsy in, they'll come in with a headlight. So, I don't have day-night cycle running right now anyway, so we're not going to worry about a headlight. We will. Let's see, we need to make sure that we are set. Right. I'm surprised that didn't throw me off because I flipped that switch while it was setting on top of it. I'm surprised it didn't pitch that locomotive to the side. I activated the wrong switch. So how was your Friday? You may not be watching this on a Friday, so comment below. Just tell me how your day was. I don't need all the gruesome details, but I spent the day, or at least the first half of the day, installing solar panels. Oh my gosh, look at it go. Holy smokes. Did you see that? What in the world is going on there? Wow, we've got it on video. Okay then, do we have, is this a new bug? What's going to happen when I turn it? Is it going to launch it? No. Okay, well, I'm not sure why that did that. But I will re-rail it once I get it turned around. Anyway, spent the first part of my day installing solar panels on a house. And it was, well, when I checked weather a few days ago, it was supposed to be a cool morning, but like 6 or 8 mile an hour winds. And it ended up being a cool morning, but it was more like 21-mile-an-hour winds gusting to 32. And luckily, I'm gonna have to get used to that mic being down there because I keep hitting it with my hand. Luckily, the winds were from the north, and I was installing on the south side of a house, so I was out of the wind. And then it was spitting rain, but it wasn't a bunch, so it was only slightly miserable, and I got the job finished. So it feels good to be productive. And now here we are on Railroads Online and gonna work at being productive. I like that the turntable's like snapped to a stop now, but I have a locomotive that is anything but in play. I wonder what happens if I get in and try to move it forward. Let's find out. Break off. I mean, it's already wrecked, right? What's going to happen is it's going to wreck worse. Reverse. Let's go forward. Let's go a little further. Will it re-rail itself by any chance? No, didn't re-rail itself at all. Not at all. Poor Monty. All right, there you go. I guess it was the game was getting me back for flipping that switch. But yeah. All right, turn on a brake here. I don't know what happened. Reverse, just a little bit of power. Chunk. Going back forward. No brakes. No need for brakes. Only no stinking brakes. If they would make it where you can see out these windows better, it would be much more pleasure to run this from first person view. But until they make it where you can actually see out the window, running from first person view is a little bit too janky for my liking. So I probably won't be doing a lot of first person running. Although it's kind of like reality for me because I am 6'4", 6'4", and so if I was in reality standing up inside this cab, would that mean my head height would also be above these windows? But of course, in reality, we'd be sitting, right? We'd be sitting there. It would be nice if they would make it where I could actually sit on that, because then I'd be looking out that window. But when I crouch, it puts me down there. So yeah. Needing to run it, or trying to run in first person. It's nice to be able to run controls, and I can look out the back. So as long as I'm looking out the back, we're all right. But if I want to see out the front, I guess I can stick my head in front of the cab. Climb on top of the wood pile. We're actually guessing how much I need. That's gotta be fun. Just saying. That's got to be a little uncomfortable. Oh, that's even worse. That's even more uncomfortable. That will take this proves it. John Robertson is a ghost. And this is his railroad purgatory. I had this discussion, this question going on with myself and some friends on a Discord server. What's the deal with John Robertson? And we all think he's actually dead, and this is railroad purgatory for him. Look at this. I told you I wasn't going to run in first person, but now I am. But again, because I'm backing up. Here we go. Let's turn these brakes off. So we'll start stacking these up. We'll leave the brakes on the last one. And I don't know if it's going to have enough oomph to... Yeah, it is. Yay! Put them all together here, and then we can pin them together from the back to the front. Do-diddy, diddy-dum. Oh, I missed that one. Diddy-do. Alright, go turn the last brake off. And... we won't be able to do just a really easy, well, we might actually. I've cleared up to the upper sawmill, which I'm going to get rid of, I believe, and put something else there. I've cleared the track, so let's find out. Reverser, brake off. side is the middle sawmill, and then the track continues on to the logging camp. So come up here, and I've got the word largest. And I did, and it sits here in front of us, but it is because of the lack of, or the limit to the geometry of the crossovers that we have. We only have a 90 degree, and then one that's, I don't even think it's less than a 45, I'm not sure. But star Y needs a different angle to be a compact star Y. So for me to get from here to the logging camp now, I need to turn around and go back up that way. So we will try to use the star Y. This is a 5-point turnaround. I don't think I've got it big enough to turn around and unload it with 4 cars, so I guess we'll find out here directly. I might could add a little bit of track to it and make it work. Let's find out. Let's let all the groundhogs know that we're coming. So you can see it goes in, backs up, goes down there, then goes out there, and then goes over to there, and then out. Yeah. That's kind of a Y, from my understanding, was designed so that you could turn around stock that was really long rolling stock. So because you can't take really long rolling stock on a piece of track that has a sharp curve to it, and so you have to be careful. Ooh, I don't have an end of track device on this one. We'll have to be careful rolling up here and see. Will I make it? I do not know. I might just barely pass that switch. Holy smokes. Alright, brake before we roll off. Let's find out. Here's the $1,000 question. Yes, I did. Now, I don't know if I made the next one big enough, but we'll find out. Again, if I had a caboose, we wouldn't have made it, that's for sure. Reverse. Wake up the groundhogs. Pretty sure I've got an end of track device on this one. Oh, I also need to check. This is a 3-way switch up here, and 3-way switches do not automatically, they're not spring switches. I may be saying that wrong, but I think it's called a spring switch. But this one has to be set properly, and So on this flag, if it is all the way to the left, that means that the track is set all the way to the right. So we're fine. And when we come out, we want to be going to the right. So we'll want, now when we're looking at this way, we'll want that to be set all the way to the left. Now I do have an end of track device there, so it's okay for us to just let this gently roll backwards. And we'll see if I make it. Again, it's going to be close. I think it might just barely, just a little. Well, number 104, number 103. This is satisfying to have them in order. 101. Some people like to start their cars like this would be the 100 series with the 100. But I think that if you start it with the 101, then all you have to do is look at the last number, and you're like, oh, that's the second car in that series, and that's the third car, and that's the fourth car, right? I don't know. Do you know anything about, is there a convention to numbering rolling stock on the railroad? And if you know anything about that, let me know in the comments. It's something I'd like to know about. Again, I am ignorant about all this stuff. I really am. I ran HO scale model trains a little bit when I was a kid, as much as I could get my dad interested in helping me out and building a train board and all that, and I did for a little bit. But then, you know, like kids do, I also lost interest fairly quick and easy, so it wasn't one of those long-lasting hobbies for me. However, recently, and here we go. Here's another bit of honesty. I'm in my 50s, early 50s, but I've got all my kids are 18 or older, some of them in their 20s, and eventually I'm expecting, you know, someday I'm going to be a granddad. And so I just last year I started really, about this time last year actually, I started thinking about I'd like to get into model railroading again. I watched some model railroading YouTube videos, and that got me bit the bug a little bit to do it, and then I saw Railroad Online videos, and so I started playing Railroad Online, and I've gone from that. I didn't know what I didn't know. In other words, I had an unconscious incompetence. I mean, obviously I knew that there was stuff I didn't know, but I didn't realize like how much I didn't know. Now this track is not going to be enough. So I am going to put on a break here because we are going to need to extend this, and I don't want to extend it. I'm going to demolish this. I don't want to extend it with just adding another piece to it because that just adds another spline. So I will get rid of that tree, come back here, and I'll throw another piece of track down so we can keep our spline count low. Every time we put a piece of track down, that is saved as a portion of track in the graphics called a spline. And so every time you do something, and there's other things in the game that are also count as splines, but so if I made this of, you know, it just had gone and added more track, that would have just added one more spline. However, I can make the same distance of track I would have as I had added it, and still only use one spline because I deleted that. So I'm going to save a spline by doing it this way. And well, I don't want that to scratch the front of my locomotive, so we'll get rid of it. Interesting that another thing that they did in the I believe it was the anniversary update, but it might have been the hotfix since then. But in one of the updates that they've just recently done, when they had added the telegraph offices a while back, or not telegraph offices, the telegraph poles a while back, one of the things was that the wires were treated as like physics objects, splines as physics objects, just like this bell cord is. See this bell cord here? When the train moves around, that bell cord just snaps and pulls and does weird things. In fact, you can kind of see it being all fuzzy right now and moving around. And the game has to keep track of all the movements of that thing because of the way it's built. Well, they made all of the original telegraph lines, I believe, the same way. At least they looked and acted a lot like that rope. But when you'd put up a lot of telegraph lines, that would severely hamper your frame rate because, yeah, your computer had to keep track of not only every telegraph line as a spline, but also as a physics object. And so every time it moved, something bothered it, whatever, yeah, it had to keep track of it. So they did that. So, yeah. Now they changed them where they're not physics objects anymore. I believe they're still a spline, but I don't believe they're technically a physics object. Alright. Again. Now see, if this had been just a standard Y, one thing a standard Y would pick up a lot less space on this. And also it had already been completely around it and turned around. So this Y not only is it a little janky, like this little snake part here that I had to do because of how off the angle of these crossovers are. So no, it's janky. It works, but it's janky. I did it just to prove that I could. But it's really not practical. I will be getting rid of it. Now, is that one long enough? I don't think so. And I know I'll be getting rid of it, but I don't want to derail my track, and I don't want to have to, you know what, since I'm going to be getting rid of it, I did all that preaching a while ago about saving splines. For now, since I am going to delete this thing, I'm just going to add a little more track on here, and we won't worry about the spline count. How about that? And I won't worry about properly supporting that in stop device, just like I hadn't before. Let's just accomplish the task of getting this bugger turned around. Wade through the logs, magically into the cat. Alright, well, I've been streaming for 44 minutes. I'm not tired and or proud. Comment down below if you get that reference. If you get that reference, where did I get that? I'm not tired or proud. Does anybody know? I'll give you a hint. It is from a musician. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. I'll give you another hint. It's from a musician, and the musician has a song that is about a train in particular. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So, if you figured it out, then let me know in the comments below. And I guess you'll let everybody else know too. I'm not tired or proud. Alright, that switch will automatically prepare itself. But we do have one coming up that is not going to. No, I don't have my super speed turned on, but I am running faster than the train is going at the moment. As long as I don't trip and get my foot stuck between the railroad ties and end up dying. Da, da, da. Alright, I have not run from here up to the up to the logging camp there. I'm going to guess there are going to be some trees in there. We will go up to the bring a little bit of the backing sound back up here. Alright, okay, right there is the tip of a tree sticking out, and that is enough to derail the train. run over that because as far as the game's concerned, that part of the tree is just as strong as all the rest of it. So, yeah, it would be really awesome if, so they've given us the ability to set, but the problem is the industries don't set well, unless you've got like a really wide open area and fairly flat. And the truth is, even these flat areas really aren't flat, because, I mean, let's face it, the terrain's done. Oh, hey, that tree went fine. The terrain's done, pretty well, pretty realistically, right? This is how quote-unquote flat land would be. It wouldn't be really super flat or anything. But the problem is, when you set an industry down, the docks that are, or the platforms that are with the industry, loading platforms that are with the industry, automatically change elevation to try to settle into place for you. And I get what they did there. The problem is that the way that it does it, they just sometimes they settle strangely, especially if you've got two platforms that are end to end, and one settles really low and the other one's quite high, and so you're trying to run a track that needs to go right beside both of those because they're in line with each other. Setting a track very, very quickly became aware that there was so much that I didn't know that it would be impossible for me to, at that moment, decide what I would want my train layout to be like. And also, it's not going to be cheap to build a good layout. One that's I can expand on over the years, and I'm going to be able to enjoy, and eventually grandkids can enjoy, and that. So, with that realization, I put the model railroading on hold for a year, basically, and that year is nearly up. So my goal is this winter to actually start my in-scale model railroad, and so I'm going to get to do that. It's going to be an L-shaped layout in the basement. Probably going about 10 foot each direction because I've got quite a bit of room down here for layout. I want to make it modular, so I'm going to have a corner table, so it's going to be 10 foot wide or 10 foot long and 2.5 foot deep, so 30 inches deep, maybe 36 the most. But so the idea is to have two modules that are 8 foot long and let's say 36 inches deep, and then a corner module that is 2 foot by 36 inches. I might actually make it a 3 foot by 3 foot, so then it would be going 11 foot straight. That would kind of make sense. So that have a corner module that's 3 foot by 3 foot, and then two side modules that are 8 foot by 3 foot. Or I could even 4 foot by 3 foot, because we are looking for that right now. So eventually we'll have to do it. And I don't want to build something that I would be able to get up out of the basement and use it someday morning. That's not going to happen. Plants sticking up out of the ground aren't actually trees. We'll be okay. And just move to the left because we want to pick up some logs. Now see, here's a problem already. Pulling in like this. Anywhere you go to the right, you see I have not made any I don't have a runaround, don't have a turntable, I don't have a Y. So I am going to need probably to build a Y up here on top. Also, this comes over the hill and kind of starts going downhill into this area here, so I have to apply brakes. Here, see how, now this is an example of when it's not so bad. These platforms are all going downhill, but they're stepped downhill just a little bit each time. And so that's not horrible. But sometimes they set really, really badly. And become next to impossible, or I mean, you just it wouldn't make sense sometimes when the way they set. You can see on the other side, they set a little harsher off. Those cranes, that last crane there is going to be almost tall enough that it's going to look strange when it's loading. Now, I've got all of the brakes on. I'm going to have to use some more brake to actually be able to stop this train. Isn't that interesting? That may load. Let's see. I can always take this brake off. forward some. Take that brake off. Oh, did I not have that at 100% already? I thought I did. Strange. To end the stream here. Been going for an hour. I need to build some track. I also don't have an end of track device here. A stopper, a bumper. What's that called? Let's look in here. Let's see. That is called a bumper. Wooden bumper can be placed at the end of track to prevent cars from rolling. So it is also a track device. I need a bumper. But I also need some ground. I've found that the easiest way is to just use ballast wall, run it out a little bit, and then bumper. Why? Well, you know, you can place these bumpers without having anything there, but technically that leaves them just hanging out in the air, which wouldn't be realistic. And when I first started playing Railroads Online, I placed a whole bunch of them like that were non-realistic. And then I had people come play on my railroad with me, and they were giving me a hard time because my end of track devices were all hanging out in midair. So I learned that you should not have your end of track devices in midair. I mean, after all, it is just a game. So if you want to leave your end of track devices, your bumpers hanging out in midair, like these people that complained about them might even complain about that much of it still sticking out. But yeah, it's my game. I can play it like I wanna. Alright, going to completely load this train. Whoa, I lost my mouse somehow. That was interesting. Enter, there we go. Now I have my mouse back. Reverse. Regulators on, brake off. See if I can push this thing up here. Still have the brake on right behind me, so it's going to be slow. Still have this brake on. Thought that helps us stay under control. Loading fast. I need to figure out where to put a Y. I've already got a That is a good question. I mean, I could suspend it out there on bridges, but I don't know about that. This already starts going downhill here. Well, I'll figure it out next time. Well, if you've been hanging out with me, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments, help me to get free from my railroad ignorance. If got any information you want to pass along, that would be one of the things I'm looking for. Now this train doesn't have it, but I'm still asking, what are the proper ways? What's the proper thing to do with marker lights? If you have marker lights on, like the end of a caboose, for instance, I understand now that you should always run the lights on the very back of the train should be red. What about if this one doesn't have it, but what about if my locomotive supports marker lights on the locomotive? What should they be? Because in the game we have green, red, and amber, or kind of a white light. So There's a question. What should they be? I'm going to throw that brake on. I am going to make sure the Montezuma is ready to rest for now. And brake is on. That's fine for the reverse, or the Johnson bar to still be in reverse. And I'll call it a stream. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun hoopla, and thanks for your time this time. Till next time, have a great time.